Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Yep, I'm here. So let's talk about where I'm at. Let's talk about this headset real quick. And then we'll talk about where I'm at, what's going on, what time it is, and stuff like that. This Blue Parrot headset is highly, highly recommended in the trucking industry. And my trainer was talking about, man, you can, when you're talking on this thing, the mic is so clear. You can be blowing wind outside and no one will hear any of that. That is a load of crap. This mic sucks so bad. As I'm sure if you're watching the video, you know how much this mic sucks. The noise canceling part of it just is terrible. So I use Sennheiser at my house, and well, not just at my house, but like for my computer and stuff like that, I use Sennheiser headsets. Sennheiser makes professional quality mics, like the mics that are used, for concerts and stuff like that. So they have the best mics that I have personally ever used in any headset. And this is not really comparable to Sennheiser. This is one of the shittiest mics I've ever used. So I am going to look into seeing if Sennheiser has any kind of Bluetooth headset. And if they don't, then I'll see if there's anybody else that has Bluetooth headsets. I think the reason that this crap is popular with truckers is because it's sold at truck stops. But this headset in general is just junk. And it's way overpriced at $150. So, anyway, it's on my to-do list. So where am I at? What's going on? I just picked up my trailer from the drop yard. I'm on the Kilpatrick Turnpike in Oklahoma City, making my way to Tulsa. It is 4:28, 4:29, just rolled over to 4:29 a.m. I'm running ahead of schedule. I planned on leaving the drop yard at about 5 a.m. because I wanted to get here to this place. I wanted to leave Oklahoma City by 5 a.m. It's only about an hour and a half to a 2-hour drive, probably close to an hour and 45-minute drive from Oklahoma City to the place that I'm delivering. And I don't want to get there too terribly early because I don't think they open until my appointment time at 7 a.m. And it's probably one of those first come, first served places like the beer distributor I delivered to before, a couple loads ago, not before this one. But I kind of screwed that up by I did everything earlier and faster than expected. I am that's the type of person I am. When somebody tells me to be there at 7 a.m., I'm probably going to be there at 6:30. And I had several things that I was planning on doing. Like I had a time that I set my alarm to get up. I had a time that I wanted to leave the house. I had a time that I wanted to leave the drop yard. And I woke up a half an hour before my alarm, and I just decided to go ahead and get up. And it just kind of snowballed from there. So I'm running way ahead of schedule, almost an hour ahead of schedule. So I'm going to get there at probably about 5:30 to 6 a.m. So about an hour to an hour and a half early for my appointment. And I'm just going to have to sit and wait for them to open up. Okay, so you didn't watch the last video. So on the fuel situation, I decided not to get fuel. I'm at a quarter of a tank. That should be enough to get me to my destination. The only thing that sucks about that, what I was thinking of was Flying J, because there's not a Love's in Tulsa, and I'm going to be really low on fuel. Flying J is like the only truck stop in Tulsa, and it's not going to be on my route, but it's not too far out of route. It's going to be maybe, I don't know, 5 miles out of route. But they're going to have me fuel up in Tulsa, because I'm not going to have the miles to travel very far, or I'm not going to have the fuel to travel very far. I'm at a quarter of a tank now, and I suspect I'm going to be an eighth of a tank by the time I leave Kimberly-Clark. So, speaking of Kimberly-Clark, how do I know that I'm going to Kimberly-Clark after I make this delivery? So, I got a pre-plan yesterday, Monday. So this was almost a 2-day weekend for me. I had some drama on my last load where it ate up an extra 3 or 4 hours of my time, because Walmart didn't have it empty, and I had to go 120 miles out of route to get it empty. So I got about, I think it was, my total off-duty time was about 44 hours, which I only wanted a 34, so it was an extra 10 hours off-duty, not a big deal. I'm not a big home time person. The extra time off was kind of nice. I've been really frustrated out here with a bunch of stuff, so it didn't hurt to get a little extra home time. I got pretty much everything I could think of that I needed to get done at home done. Paid bills, did laundry, made food. So that brings up a whole other discussion on food and weight loss and stuff like that I'll try to remember to get to toward the end of the video. So I got my pre-plan yesterday, and it's the exact same load that I had last Tuesday. The exact same load. Like the pickup window on it, the delivery time, it's a Kimberly-Clark load going to Davenport, Florida, which is just outside Orlando. The exact same load that I had last Tuesday. Exact same thing. 1163 paid miles, and they're paying me 10 empty miles. So Oakhurst, the address on this place lists as Tulsa, according to Google, but according to my trip plan, it's Oakhurst, Oklahoma. But it's on the west edge of Tulsa, right off the turnpike. And then Kimberly-Clark is on the south side of Tulsa. So I'm going to go to that was just, I don't know why you feel the need to merge over so close to me, people. People do not understand following distance. They don't understand spacing. We're the only 2 vehicles on this turnpike, and you have to get like 2 car lengths in front of me. I just move over to the left lane until they get away from me. Truck drivers need to stop doing that, and then the cars will stop doing that. The cars do what the trucks do, and there are a lot of dumbasses that drive these trucks that don't have proper spacing. So, my next load is going to Florida. I like the high mileage loads, but that was my first time, last week, that was my first time ever going to Florida as a truck driver. And Florida sucks as a truck driver. Traffic is crazy in Florida, and there's no truck parking in Florida. So I downloaded the Trucker Path app again. I've had that installed on my phone before, but it was so loaded with adware that I just uninstalled it. It was completely worthless. I downloaded it as GPS because everybody was saying that that's the best free GPS and stuff like that. It is not. Truck Map is much better. But I was trying to use it as a GPS, and it kept having pop-up ads. Like, do you know how dangerous dangerous that is to try to be clicking off of a pop-up ad as you're driving down the road. Because like your GPS goes away, it's covered up by this damn pop-up ad. I mean, there were so many ads that use so much damn data that I just uninstalled that crap. But I downloaded it again to use it to just look for truck parking spots. And I'm gonna see if that helps. I know I'm gonna have issues finding parking spots, and the route to Davenport, Florida that they have me take is on highways. It really sucks. It is definitely night driving type stuff because man, I was just driving. It was like driving through one big town all the way through, I think, Mississippi. I think as soon as I got into Alabama, the highway became a nice big country wide open highway. It was like a divided highway, 4 lanes, really nice. But all through Mississippi, it was just town after town after town after town, stop and go at lights. It really, really sucked. Google wanted to route me to Atlanta, and I'm thinking I might talk with Fuel and see if maybe I can do that route instead, because the crappy highways they had me taking last time just suck. You know, I may just like go, I'm not even talk to the fuel department. Like if they have me a fuel stop that's on their crap route, then maybe I'll talk to them and tell them I don't want to go that way. That way sucks. I don't know. I'll figure it out. I'll have to wait and see what route they give me when I get my when I get onto that load. But I'll have to do that trip planning whenever I'm leaving Kimberly Clark. So it's a drop and hook. So as soon as I unload, this is a live unload, but it's paper rolls, the big paper rolls, the tall ones. They only have 8 paper rolls in this thing, and they're 45,000 pounds. So they're the big, heavy paper rolls. And this is one of those loads they don't bother putting a seal on it. Like, who in the hell is going to be able to take off with these paper rolls? You can't get one of these things out of there without a dock and specialized equipment. So yeah, they don't bother putting a seal on this. I remember the first load of these that I picked up when I was in training at I forget what the place was. I don't think it was Georgia Pacific. I asked them, I said, is there a seal in the back of the trailer? And they were like, what? The what? I was like, the seal. They're like, what are you talking about? I was like, the seal. Do you guys not provide a seal? And they're like, I don't know what you're talking about. And I was like, well, that answers my question then. All right, thanks, have a good one. They're like, all right, bye. Yeah, the kid, he was a very young kid. He was probably like 19, 20. He didn't even know what the hell I was talking about. But, yeah, I'll be happy to get rid of this heavy-ass load. My next paper load is paper product. It's not raw paper. And it's only 15,000 pounds according to my trip plan. And it'll probably be right around in that area. I think the last one was 13,000 pounds. So it'll be in the ballpark of 15,000 pounds. I'm happy to get the long run to Davenport, Florida, and if it's a run that I start getting consistently, then I'll figure out some kind of parking. There's got to be places to park. There'll be little, some little hidden gems that I can find to park. That's what's really nice about doing the same runs over and over, is you learn the places that you can park, and you learn the little things. You learn how the businesses operate, the shippers and the receivers. Can you get there early? Can you get there late? Can you park there? Things like that. You learn all those little things. So that's pretty nice. Guess what? 15 days. 15 days. Today is the 20th. 26th. There's 31 days in May, so 5 days left in this month, and then June 10th, so 10 days into June. 15 days, I'm going to start the process moving over to lease. I am really excited about it, and I keep wanting to like take a week off before I do it, but I don't know. I'm afraid if I like take a week off, they'll be like, well, we want 90 days of actual driving. We don't want you to just like take a week off. That, you know, we're not going to count that week for your driving. Yeah, I don't want to get into some stupid drama like that. Like, what company actually puts your days that you actually drove with them? Like, if you worked at a company for 6 months and you took 2 months off during that time, they're not going to give you 4 months credit driving. I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking it. But I am considering like taking a week off and just chilling at the house and just getting all of my ducks in a row. I think I might wait until I actually terminate my employment with USA Truck. I think that'd be the smart way to do it, because I'm not going to have, like, if I take a week off right now, I don't really have a whole lot of things to do on that week off. I'll just be sitting around playing video games. But if I have onboarded with lease and I'm in the process of buying a truck and all that stuff, then I'll have things to do during that time off. Lane ends in half a mile. Ambulance. Lights on, head down the road. They're going the other direction. But yeah, I think on June 10th, I don't even know what day the 10th is. I want to say the 10th. Yeah, okay, so, crap, what day is the 10th? What day does the 10th fall on? I think it's like a Tuesday or something like that. So, I'll call Christina and we will start the process on that day. And it may take a couple of days for them to tell me whether or not I'm approved for lease. And then once I'm approved for lease, then they will, start the process of moving me over. So it'll probably work out that right at about time for me to do my home time that weekend, we'll start to formulate some kind of plan on getting me off the truck. So I'll probably take the truck to my house for my regular home time that weekend, unload all my crap, and then the next load I'll probably go up to Tulsa and grab like this load going to Davenport, but instead of taking it to Florida, I'll just drop it off in West Memphis and relay the load and get out of my truck in West Memphis and then drive back to my house and probably set at my house until I buy a truck. Like, I'll take time to to be negotiating the terms and buying the truck and then driving and picking the truck up and all that stuff. The place where I'm looking to buy my truck is Fargo, North Dakota. I have no idea how many miles that is. If I had to guess, I would say it is somewhere in the area of 1,000 to 1,500 miles away. It's a decent drive. It's gonna be a really long drive. I might consider flying up there. I don't know. I have to figure out what the hell I'm gonna do with that. I'll have to look into it. But yeah, I'm not even sure that I'm gonna be buying it from there. I'm gonna when it comes crunch time, I'm gonna when I get within the last week or two, well, I'm in the last 2 weeks. When I get within like the last week, or when I'm actually moved moved over to lease and I'm looking to buy the truck, that's what I'm going to dedicate time into seriously looking into it. I've already got a couple of options picked out, and if I can find something better, then great. But the options I have picked out right now are better than I expected I was going to get. Oh, and I'm trying to think of anything else I need to say before I get on the food and the weight loss subject. This heavy ass load has not been that bad. There are two things that make heavy loads suck. One is elevation change, going up or downhill. And two is speed change, accelerating and decelerating. So the worst place to have heavy loads are highways where you're driving through towns where the speeds are changing, and you have red lights and stoplights, and you're also going through a place that has mountains or hills, lots of rolling hills. Those are the worst places. And although this load is heavy, it's been all interstate driving, and it's been pretty much flat land. So this is about the best place to be hauling really heavy crap if you're going to be hauling really heavy crap. And like that Budweiser load that I hated down in Florida, that was interstate, and it was pretty much flat land the whole way. So that's not what sucked about that load. What sucks about that load is all the crap that Anheuser-Busch has you go through dealing with the shippers and receivers on the beer loads. That's what sucks about the beer loads. It's not the weight of the beer loads. It sucks. The only thing that sucks about the weight is getting it to scale legal. It is not easy to get those beer loads to scale legal, because they'll get you within a few pounds of 80,000 pounds. And that last load I hauled was within 300 pounds of 80,000 pounds. So there wasn't a whole lot I could do with it. But anyway, is there anything else before I want to switch over to what I'm thinking about on weight loss? Let me pause it for just a second and think. Alright, unpaused. No, I can't really think of anything else. One last little tidbit of information. I was just thinking, and what I'm probably going to do where I'm going to stop for the night or for the day or whatever, I'm probably going to stop at the West Memphis terminal. Last time I did this load, I did the pickup in Tulsa, and I just barely had enough time to make it down to I-40, which is about an hour south of Tulsa. And an hour and 15, I forget exactly how far. But Weber's Falls from Tulsa. Weber's Falls is where the turnpike, the Muskogee Turnpike, or the whatever turnpike, intersects from the turnpike that goes between Tulsa and I-40. That's where it intersects at I-40 is Weber's Falls, and there's a Love's truck stop there. So I picked up the load last Tuesday morning, drove for an hour, and I was pretty much out of hours, and stopped at that Love's truck stop and slept all day. And then I went from there, and I made it all the way to, I think somewhere in Alabama. It was on some highway in Alabama. I stopped at some hole-in-the-wall truck stop. It's a general store looking place that had truck parking. Because of the 2 hours or hour and a half, roughly 2 hours of driving that I'm going to have to put on right now, and then the other hour, if you calculate the hour between Tulsa and Weber's Falls, I'm going to be 3 hours shy of where I did my rest stop last time on this trip. So about 180 to 200 miles. I think that's going to put me somewhere in the vicinity of the West Memphis terminal. Now, here's the problem with that on this load. Is I remember last time I did this load, it was pretty much almost 2 full driving shifts. So what's going to do to me this time, because I'm doing a couple of hours driving before I pick up the load, is that it's going to put me in a situation where last time I think that I had, I don't know, maybe I drove like 9 hours on my second driving shift. Like I did almost my full 11 on the first driving shift, the one where I left Weber's Falls, and then I did like 9 hours. It might take me 3 driving shifts to get it there this time. Now I have a big delivery window on this, so like it's not going to be an issue of me being late, but I want to be as efficient as possible. So I'm thinking West Memphis is going to be roughly where I run out of hours. I'm going to run out of driving time really close to there. But if it's not close, if I'm wrong on that, then I'm going to have to drive further. Well, I may not have to drive 30 further. I'll have to trip plan it, and which is what I'll do while I'm getting unloaded at this place, or actually while I'm waiting for them to open. I'll trip plan my next load and see exactly how I'm going to be able to do it. If I'm going to have to take 3, if it's going to take 3 driving shifts no matter what I do, then I'll probably just stay the night at the West Memphis terminal. And I'm probably, what I'm guessing I'm going to do is I'm going to do exactly what I did last time. I'm going to go to Davenport, Florida, and deliver to that Walmart DC. And then I'm going to go up to Jacksonville, pick up a beer load, take that to Pensacola, and then they're going to give me a load from there to maybe Searcy, Arkansas. I may do the exact same thing I did last week. It may be exactly the same. There may be little differences, but I think where it's going to start like differentiating from last week is going to be after the beer load. I think this load and the beer load are going to be the same as last week, and then after that, like that Searcy, Arkansas load, I may not get that one, which would I'll be perfectly okay with that, because I'm a little pissed off at the number of unpaid miles that I'm doing to do home time on the loads that they gave me this week. It's something like 200 to 250 unpaid miles this week to get to my house, and I'm really kind of pissed off about that. Now that's hours that I'm working that I'm not getting paid. I'm hauling this heavy ass 45,000 pound load around and not getting paid for it. So anyway, my little tidbit random thought ended up going a lot longer than expected. So let's get to the weight loss and stuff. So I'm not set on it. I'm thinking about it. It's something I'm thinking about. Is like serious weight loss. I'm an extremist. I'm an all or nothing kind of person. I don't do anything in I can't do things in moderation. Let's put it that way. So I'm thinking about losing weight, and I'm thinking about it. So I pretty much maintained my weight since I've gotten into trucking. I was roughly 260 pounds when I started driving the truck, and I'm pretty much 260 pounds still. I was 257 on the scale when I weighed yesterday. So I'm not gaining weight on the truck. I'm not losing weight. I'm just maintaining. And I think one of the reasons that I sweat so badly much I weigh. It's like walking around with, 250-pound bags strapped to me, an extra 100 pounds on me. So my body's having to work a lot harder to do everything. So I'm thinking about it. It's something I'm thinking about. I've done water fasting in the past, and since I'm an extreme type of person, that's probably what I will do to drop the weight. It's just water fast. My concern with water fasting is that once you get into, it takes a while, probably day 5 or 6 on a water fast. The longest water fast I've done was 11 days. And once you get, about 4 or 5 days into a water fast, you start getting a little loopy. And it was really difficult for me to water fast in my last job because it was a highly technical role that I was in. So it required a lot of problem solving, and it was a little difficult for me to stay focused. Your mind wanders a lot, and it's kind of hard to stay focused on a water fast. And you're really weak. You get physically drained really quickly by doing anything. I remember taking a shower when I was on that 11-day water fast. When I was on day 9, 10, 11, I had to take breaks when I was taking a shower. Just exerting myself by washing myself off in the shower would just drain my energy reserves to the point where I would just have to take a break. I'm not really sure how that's going to work out with driving the truck. So even if I do plan on doing water fasts on the truck, it's going to be a day-by-day type thing. And if it ever becomes a safety issue with my ability to drive the vehicle safely, then I'll have to stop doing that. I've done all kinds of weight loss stuff, like the what is one of the real popular ones, the Atkins diet. There's 100 or 1,000 different diets that are based on Atkins. They call them all kinds of different stuff. And it's basically cutting out sugars and carbs. Carbs turn into sugars. Sugars are really bad for you. We should not be intaking sugars in the quantities that we're intaking sugars. That is one of the biggest reasons, if not the biggest reason, that we have obesity problems in the country, in the world mainly. I mean, it's not just the United States, it's the world. Is our massive intake of sugar. And go watch some videos on sugar. I'm not going to talk about it for 4 or 5 hours, but I've done a lot of research into dieting. I've tried a lot of different dieting stuff, and most of it doesn't really work for me. The Atkins diet does not work for me. The Atkins diet, and every diet similar to Atkins that revolves around cutting back sugar and carbs, but allowing you to eat as much as you want of other stuff, it is an appetite suppression diet. Because one of the things that sugar does is it stimulates your appetite. So whenever you're eating Rice Krispies treats, oatmeal pies, Little Debbie snacks, and lots of bread and stuff like that, and chips, it makes you want to eat more. And it makes you tired, it makes you sedentary, it makes you not want to do anything. There's a lot of things that happen whenever you intake sugar. It makes you want to sit and not do anything, and it makes you want to eat more. So, sugar is the fat drug. But anyway, it's just something I'm thinking about. And I got really ticked off this morning because, there's no one of those days where I just got out of the shower and I'm sweating doing the simplest tasks of putting my clean clothes in the truck and loading in it wasn't even loading in a whole bunch of stuff into the truck, just loading in a few items into the truck, and I got sweaty. So it made me, God, all these people with their damn bright lights on, have their headlights. What's the word I'm thinking of? They just have their headlights out of adjustment. So I think that's about it for this video. On my way to do this delivery, and then I'm driving just a few miles away, maybe 10 miles, to Kimberly Clark, and doing a drop and hook, picking up my next load, a nice little light paper load, but it's going to be almost all back roads. It's going to be highways across Mississippi and Alabama. Basically, I'm going to take I-40 to Memphis, Tennessee, and then from Memphis until I hit I-75, and I forgot what city I hit I-75 in, but I'm going to take highways from Memphis to I-75. I might try to find a better route, because driving through all those little towns sucked last time. But anyway, thanks for watching. Have a good one. And I may make another video today since I'm making this one so damn early.